Jake with Jared Training Systems here. We're going to be going over a 15-minute mobility routine. This is an excellent routine if you just got off a long day of work, got off of a long day of traveling, or you feel like you might just need a bit of a stretch before bed to relax. We're going to be going from the calves to our neck. All you will need is a mat or a pillow, maybe just a thick foam pad. But if you're just doing this on carpet, you will be just fine. Now we're going to start off with the calves. We're going to have one knee on the mat here like this. I'm gonna get over top of my opposite foot. I'm gonna be spending some time here shifting side to side. Now with this one, we're gonna be getting onto that knee. It's okay if my heel pops off the floor a little bit, but just getting side to side here, getting a bit of a stretch into that lower part of my calf. Again, swiveling side to side and just paying attention to what we're feeling here. As you go through this movement here, we're gonna be going for about 45 seconds. We got 15 seconds left. I want you just to find that tight spot, whether it's turning inward or going out to the side or just swiveling around that middle ground there. We got 3, 2, 1. We're gonna switch on over here, hit the other side. And again, you'll notice my knee and my heel are relatively close together, right? I'm not all the way out here turning it into more of a hip stretch. I'm keeping stacked on top of that leg, on top of that foot. Another 45 on this side. And just at this point, right, we want to pay attention to what side is feeling tighter. Learning about our body and finding out where those tight corners are. And then we can start connecting the dots as to why one side might be tighter. If there's a pattern as we move upstream, if we notice a pattern, let's keep that in our mind here as we go through this one today. And as you get more into it, we got about 15 seconds left. We can kind of come up onto our hand here. And again, we're just getting that knee over the toes. If you find you're really tight in your feet from doing this too, another option we can do as we ease out of that one is going to be getting onto our toes like this and then pushing our butt back to our heels and stretching out the bottoms of our feet. So if you found with that one there, you're feeling a bit more tension through the foot, start with the foot stretch first next time, then work your way into the calf. Now for the next one here, we got our hip to ham. So we're going to go like from here into the hip, onto the ham. We got 10 aside with this one. And as I get forward, right, I'm spending a bit of time in each one. I'm getting over that knee like I was earlier, onto the heel and down. Spending some time at the end of each range here, maybe turning away from the hip that we're on. We're coming up with our arms overhead. And like I said earlier, if you find a spot that you like that has some more tension, stay there for a little while, right? Spend some time there. As we go into that hamstring, we can kind of swivel that heel side to side, hit some different fibers there on that hamstring. 2 more reps here. Great. Switching on over now. So again, right, you'll notice I like to tuck my back toes here. Gives me a bit more stability through the floor. Then as I get my knee over, I'm thinking about squeezing this butt cheek and pushing this hip forward. Then of course we're down onto the heel. Just like that last side, right? Maybe twisting away and down. And again, noticing where that tension is, noticing, hey, that left side was a bit more jacked up than my right, or maybe my right side felt tighter on the hamstring, but not the hip. Connecting with our bodies and understanding where the tension lies and what patterns that might present. We got 4 more reps here. Again, spending some time on that hamstring if you're feeling it's really tight. Pivoting off that heel, up and away. And really rooting through our feet here as well. Getting a bit of a stretch in your foot maybe, but giving us some support from the back end as we go through these active ranges of motion. You'll notice for today, a lot of the moves that we do are going to be active. We may be holding some spots, but we're going to be moving around and oscillating through those ranges of motion to open up those tissues. The next one we have here is a lunge mobilization with rotation. So it's a mouthful. Lunge mobilization with rotation. We're gonna get down here. My hands are on the floor. Now if your hands have a hard time meeting the floor, you can use a med ball, right? Maybe a pillow here to kind of bridge that gap from the floor. And as I get here, I'm gonna lower down, I push that knee away, and I'm gonna rotate with the hand that's closest to that leg, right? So I'm getting down and rotating. Maybe walking away a little bit more and rotating, finding those tight corners. We got 10 reps aside here, working through those ranges, finding that spot as we lower in where we're comfortable reaching, where the tension lies, right? I like to kind of start in here with my leg, get my rotation in, then walk out. Rotate. Maybe do 3 walkouts and then come back in, right? I got 3 more reps here, so I'm gonna make my way back. I like to get low to that floor, push into the floor, rotate up. Switching on over here. Again, if you need a support for your hands or your forearms, using the med ball, the pillow, even holding onto a dumbbell works great. And as we get into the other side here, setting up, getting those knees and heels apart, right? I'm thinking wide between my knee and my heel, lowering in, push in, and walking out and away, right? Finding that tight corner. I'm trying to drop this hip to the floor. Hunting around for that spot I find right here for me, that's the sweet spot. Gonna spend some time here and get that rotation. And again, we're rotating with the hand that's closest to that foot. Lower in and rotate. We got 5 more on this side. Turning away. Good, coming up on our last 3 reps here. Again, we're getting active, we're hunting around for that spot. That is an excellent one to get into the groin and the hip flexor and open things up, especially if you spend a lot of time sitting. Now with this next one here, we're gonna have 1 knee on the mat, 1 foot's out long. So I'm gonna be here. I'm stacking my hand and knee in the same line, and my other hand is just to the side here, right beneath my shoulder. I'm gonna tuck my back toes and I want you to rock back and forth. We're gonna reach our butt back to our heels and come out of this one for 10 reps. Maybe spending a bit of time in that end range. I like to do a little bit of a bounce at the bottom. 2 more here. Holding that bottom bit, reaching your butt back to your heels. Again, a great one for the groin. Lots of tension is held in the groin there, so we can really alleviate and open up those hips by moving in to our adductor rocker. And again, we're here, right? My knee and my foot are in line. My hand's ahead of my knee. And reach my hips back. Find that range. And to really emphasize this stretch, we can also think about pushing our big toe into the floor here and to get a bit more torque into that hip. Find that range, that internal rotation that we're looking for. Pushing through the palms, pushing through the fingertips here as we reach our hips back. Might even go side to side a little bit, but mainly back and forth. We got 3 more here. Perfect. Next, we're gonna get into a figure 4 move. This is for the outer hip. If you have back pain or pain that kind of comes across the side, this is one for you here. So with this one, we're on our back. I'm gonna cross 1 heel over my knee and pull down. From here, I'm just gonna drop that knee to the floor and look over my opposite shoulder. That's 1 rep, we got 10. Not feeling much here? Push your heel to your butt and slide this foot down. You'll get right into that hip. And again, it's key, we look the opposite way. 3 more here. Reaching that foot down to the floor. And if you're not quite getting to the floor, that's totally okay. Go with what you can, work with what you got, and you'll get there in no time. We'll get 2 more going here. Again, looking over that shoulder and down. While we're here on our back, I want you just to let the knees go side to side. Feel the difference from hip to hip. Even with that last stretch there, you should feel like that hip that you were just on has a bit more room than the other hip. Switching on over. Again, my heel's close to my butt. I'm pulling my other leg down, over and away. Now let's really pay attention to and notice here the difference from side to side with this one. Because one side might feel a bit tighter. If you have back pain, really note here what side of your back hurts. Because for most people, if you have pain or tightness on the left side of your back, it might be that right hip that's acting up and causing that pain and tension. We got 3 more here. Feel free to hold the bottom part here for a sec and try to reach your rib here down to the floor, getting active into this range. You'll find the tension lies through the lower back part of me or the hip. And we're gonna ease out of that one. And again, once we're here, let's let those knees go side to side. We're on the heels, just waving the knees side to side here, resetting those hips. By now, those hips should feel real good after all that work we just put into them. Next one I have for you, we're gonna use the mat or the pillow. We're gonna set up with both knees on the mat or the pillow, and one knee is gonna be offset back, okay? So here my shoulders are right above my wrist. I'm pulling my belly button down and looking up, then I'm pushing into the floor and rounding my back. Cat to cow, we got 8 aside here. Chin up, tailbone up, push the floor away and round over. Offset position helps us focus on one side a little bit more than the other. If your right knee's back, you're gonna feel it on your right side of your lower back a bit more as we reach that belly button up to the ceiling. And we got 2 more here. I'm pulling my belly button down, and then I'm pushing the floor away and tucking my tailbone. And last one here, 1 more. 1 more for good measure. Good. Now again with this one here, right? Work on connecting the belly button and the chin. So when we go downward, we drop that belly button down, the chin goes up. And then when we push the floor away, belly button up, chin down. That's how we connect the mid back and the lower back. We gotta get that spine moving, especially if you have back tightness and mid back tightness and pain. What this move does is it helps send more fluid through your spine. Your spine is full of what's called synovial fluid, which is basically like a lubrication for your spine. And as we get through this movement here, we're working on just loosening each segment of your spine up and sending a little bit more of that fluid, push the floor away. Okay, getting into the mid back and the upper body now. I want you on your side, one leg over top. We're gonna be pulling this leg down to the floor, reaching across, and big breath as we open up. We got 10 aside here with our sideline opener. It's key here to put a bit of pressure on this knee as we reach over to keep that hip from cheating, right? Because if this hand isn't here, we're gonna cheat a range of motion through our hip. 2 more reps here. Big exhale every time we reach over. Switching on over now, we're gonna hit the other side here, another 10 reps for you. And again, when we switch over, let's pay attention to what we feel that might be a bit different on each side, right? So I'm pulling my knee down, arm goes across, just got a nice pop in my back. Connecting with that breath and just noticing where the tension is. Noticing where that tension lies. Good, last 3 coming at you, big reach forward. Exhale as you open. Reach forward. 9. And last one here. 10. Nice one for the mid back and the shoulders here. Now the next one we're gonna do for the shoulders is a shoulder CAR. CAR stands for controlled articular rotation. I like to do this one with our hands rooted into the floor. So I'm gonna think long arms, pushing my hands into the floor. I'm just gonna go back with my shoulders. I'm gonna make a big circle with my shoulders. So I'm going back together, forward like I'm shrugging, push the floor away, pack your shoulders into your pockets, and rotate forward. If there were a marker off the edge of my shoulder here, I'd be able to draw a bit of a circle with it. So let's go 10 forward, 10 backward. Back and together, up and around. Noticing the difference from side to side, controlling that movement through the shoulder. 3 more going forward, and good. Now we're gonna send it backwards, starting with that shrug, shoulders back, push the floor away, rotate up with that shrug. You're gonna find that one side or going in one direction feels a lot better than the other, and for me, it's going backwards. And as we push that floor away, work on really rounding over, almost like we're doing our cat to cow. We're gonna finish off with the neck here. Now with this one, very simple but effective stretch that we're gonna be moving through some active ranges of motion on. Take one hand, take a seat on your hand. I'm gonna gently pull that side away. So I'm looking up and down here, sending my gaze up, sending my gaze down. We wanna slightly lean away from the arm that we're on, and we're gonna spend about 30 seconds in each spot here. Once you find that tight spot that you like, and maybe you don't like it so much, stay there for a little bit. For me, it's when I go down, that's when I feel it the most. But again, we're active, and 3, 2, 1, switching on over. Other side, I'm sitting on my hand, pulling that chin down, getting into that range of motion actively. And the neck is an area that we can really find where the tension is, what side is tighter, right? For me, it's gonna be this right side. When I bring my chin to my collarbone, chin up, chin down, we got 10 seconds here. And we can ease out of that position. I hope you found this video helpful today. Feel free to mix that in throughout the week. Take a few stretches that you like and work those in through your week. Remember, consistency and repetition is key for long and meaningful change. Thank you very much for following along. We'll see you next time.